races coming up. It's overcast. Weather's pretty nice, though. It's cooled off. Track will be fast.
Yeah, it's going to be a good night for racing. A couple stakes on the card tonight. We got the Arabians in race number 3. They get some stakes money. And then the big one, race 11, the $100,000 Yellow Rosa Texas Stakes, the inaugural running. Yep. So I've got some solid horses in that one, so I'm excited to get to race 11 and talk about it in a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good field in there, and it's an interesting race, the Yellow Rose, because not all of the contention, but most of the contention is in posts 10, 11, and 12. So they're all kind of in the same boat out there. But let's get on to the analysis. The first of our Jackpot Super High 5 races is race 1. Maiden Claimer, Texas Breds, $18,816 in the carryover. And Rodney, I think the 3 Butch Glory is likely to be a fairly solid favorite here, and is justifiably the horse to beat, but I'm going to try to beat him. Who do you like in here?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm going to try to beat Butch Glory as well. I think the number 4, Boomer Zoomer, has got a chance to beat Butch Glory. Now, Boomer Zoomer, last time out, got a race over this track. That was at the $5,000 level, but did run second in that race. Bumped a little bit going down the lane, but that one race looks to me out of the rest of this field looks like the one that I like the most. So I'm taking the number 4 and Boomer Zoomer on top. Second choice is going to be Butch Glory. A solid third last time out. That came down in Gillespie at this 330-yard distance. Ran third just by a head. Was moving up late. And then I went with the number 1 and Amabel as my third selection. This is going to be the first time that this horse has ever run for a tag. So going to be exciting to see this horse fire from the rail.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of contention in this race. Even though I think Butch Glory's overall body of work is the best. He has been with 3 different trainers. He started for Wheatrone. He's been with the Brookses here lately. Jeffrey Charles Brooks saddles him today. Good collection of races for Butch Glory, but despite that, I'm going to go with the 2 Panhandle Prairie. This horse had 2 maiden tries at Ruidoso Downs after a Ruidoso Futurity effort against the really tough Cyber Monday back in May. Completely overmatched there. Last 2 races of Ruidoso, not a whole lot to write home about, but banking on the fact that was better competition than he's likely to face today, dropping down in against Texas Breds and in for a $10,000 tag. Plus, I really like his October 11th work for a horse at this level, so I'm giving him the nod over Butch Glory. Vulcan Blaze is another one. He got some really highly regarded stables in this race, Blaine Woods being one of those. This horse comes out of a really nice trial. Jim and Jam, the winner of that trial, looked great on trial night. He didn't run at all in the Dash for Cash final, but Vulcan Blaze just kind of futilely chased him. I've got him as a third pick. And Boomer Zoomer, I almost showed video on him. I thought he chased the Magic Ocean really gamely on opening night, and the Magic Ocean was a really impressive winner. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Boomer Zoomer runs a really nice race. Good race there in the first. Second race, a key scratch. Number 3, Mr. Illusion. That was, I think, a lot of people's top pick, certainly mine and Rick Lee's. And was he your top pick as well originally?
It was my top pick originally, yes.
Non-winners of 2 allowance, 2-year-olds here.
But, hey, I'm not too sad about it because I like the 5 as well, TF Runaway Dashing. Going to be my top choice here. Was a solid second last time out. That was in August at Delta Downs in a nice stakes race over there. Just missed by half a length. That was at this distance as well. In the trial, won the trial to get into that race. I think there's a lot to like about TF Runaway Dashing. And I think with that scratch of Mr. Illusion, this 5 is going to be a big favorite in this one. I would think so. Second choice is going to be the number 2, and The Devil Made Me Do It. This horse has had a solid 2020. It's put 4 races together, has a win and 2 seconds to show for it. Most recently, that horse ran a second out here at Lone Star Park on the 13th of September. That was at a 50-yard greater distance, but I think The Devil Made Me Do It. If you look at how this gelding has performed over 350 yards, 2 starts, has a win and a second. I think there's a lot to like about the 2. And then I'm going to go with number 1 horse on the rail, Luminosity, as my third selection. Horse picked up a win, 2 starts back at Ruidoso Downs. Has run 3 times. April, May had a little bit of a break. Then August, now taking some time off, going to run here for Jason Olmstead. I think that Luminosity might be one it's worth taking a look at here in race number 2.
No, I agree. Jason Olmstead wins a lot of races at Remington and in the upper Midwest. We'll see how he fares here. I've got the same pick, same order, so let's slide over and look at some video of The Devil Made Me Do It. This was trials night for the Dash for Cash Futurity. The Devil Made Me Do It's in the 8-hole, really rough start. He'll get bounced around and bumped around here shortly after the start, right there between horses. Now follow him. He's third from the outside. The winner of this race, Rare High Dynasty, was the 8th fastest qualifier. He's off in a race by himself, but I like the way The Devil Made Me Do It. Rallies on the outside here, and he winds up getting by everybody else in the field. I thought it was a pretty good race, and I thought about picking him on top, but, Mr. Illusion was way too tough. TF Runaway Dashin' now is way too tough. My thought on TF Runaway Dashin', that Lee Berwick Futurity is $1 million race for Louisiana breds that he comes out of. He took an absolute right turn out of the gate. I don't know how he wasn't disqualified, but I'm not a steward. I've never been a racing official. I don't fully understand the rules, but I don't know. I don't know how he wasn't disqualified. I would bet the inquiry sign went up, though, because even though he stayed up, he broke very poorly in the Lee Berwick straightness-wise. On to the third. Texas Arabian Juvenile Sprint. Now, juveniles in the Arabian ranks are 3-year-olds, unlike other parts of the equine world where juveniles are 2-year-olds. Good race here. I think this is a well-matched field. Scratch the 1, A.A. DeBuster.
Yeah, I ended up on number 9, California Sand JS. This horse has put together 3 wins in a row in the only 3 starts for this colt. The most recent one coming at Golden Gate Fields back in August. We had a horse that came in from Golden Gate last week, I believe, an Arabian that came in and won it pretty handily in that race. So I'm going to go ahead and take that angle again and go with California Sand JS as my top choice. I'll take the 11 and RB Game Over as pick number 2. One start for this horse came at Delaware. Won that race by 13 1/4. That was at 5.5 furlongs. So adding a little bit on to this to go 6 furlongs here tonight. Ernesto Torres, the trainer, always got to point him out in these Arabian races. Seems to win at a high percentage. Take a look. He sent 10 Arabians out this year, and he's won 3 of them, so not bad there. And then I went with the 6 in First Class as my third selection. This is a horse that's put together 2 wins in a row. One of them coming at this 6 furlong distance that was just back at the beginning of August. So I think you got to watch First Class as well here in this race.
Yeah, no, I agree. I took him. He's a versatile sort, First Class is. It looks like he can sit a little bit, which might be important. It looks like most of these want the lead, and it's usually preferable in an Arabian race to be on or near the lead, it seems like to me. But this horse comes out of a mile race. His 2-mile races have been pretty good, but his sprints have been pretty good, too. He's a versatile sort. He can be on or near the lead, or he can sit off of it. I will point out this is his first time out for this current trainer. He was with a different trainer in Delaware, not that that means anything. My second pick is California Sand JS. I thought long and hard about picking him. He's another versatile sort. Not sure about the Arabian quality of competition in California, and most of those fields were short, but still, he's very impressive. RB Game Over. He's already entered back in a race next week, which is interesting. Plus, he flipped in the gate last weekend and was scratched here, so that's a red flag for me. But with Ernesto Torres, like you say, and there's also going to be jockey changes on both of Ernesto Torres' horses. I had that information right before I came down. We'll announce it here as soon as we're done with the show here. Fourth race. This is very wide open, this race 4, I think. Maiden, special weight, 2-year-olds, 400 yards.
Yeah, this was a tough one right here to look at. I ended up settling on the number 4, I'm a Cat Boy here in race number 4.
It's going to be a jockey change, by the way, on him as well.
All right.
We'll announce that.
Well, this horse has run 3 times, all of them coming at Ruidoso this year. Has never tried this 400-yard distance, but has been all around it. Has run 350, has run 440. Has done okay in both of those races, but, this horse always seems to run in some trouble. In all 3 of those races, this horse has had trouble in those races. Hopefully with a clean break tonight and stay out of trouble, that I'm a Cat Boy gets across that wire first. My second choice, I'm going to go with the number 10 horse, AMF, I'm Gone. One start for this horse at Remington Park. That was back in April, so it's been a while. But the horse ran. It was a solid race in a futurity trial up there. Ran second in that race. So I'm excited to see this horse get back on the track. Usually I like those comeback races. I like to see one race before I'm really picking the horse. That's why I've got AMF. I'm gone second instead of first here, and then I went with the number 8 and Fabulous Card Party. 2 races out at Ruidoso Downs. Those were in some pretty big races. That was for the Firecracker trial and the All-American trial out there. They thought he was good enough to get in those, to compete for those races. Got a good jockey on there. This horse has had some trouble as well in those 2 races. We'll see if Fabulous Card Party can't get out and maybe shine a little bit tonight here on the Texas track.
Yeah, no, there's a whole bunch in here that I would consider. I would look at the action on the 1, Apolitical Shame. Alonzo Neri, firster, has been training okay. Watch out for him, see how they're betting him. The 3, El Tartanero Jess, had a really nice race back in June at Delta. First time for Roberto Madrigal. The 4, I'm a Cat Boy. If he can get a clean run, he can definitely win. The 6, Senator Volcom, who's my second pick in here, has 2 really nice races, and then kind of a so-so All-American trial, but he's been trouble-prone. The 8, Fabulous Card Party, certainly merits a lot of respect. That was a really good trial that he was in. That featured I'm a Eagle and Jess Rocketman for the All-American. Jess on the run, a first-time gelding for a hot trainer in Rolando Almanza, and the 10, AMF I'm Gone. The horse that beat her, or him rather, back at in those Remington trials, ran 3rd in the Juvenile for the Heritage Place Futurity and was beaten a nose and a neck, and the winner of that race was Whistle Stop Cafe, the best 2-year-old in the country. And I haven't even gotten to the horse that I picked on top, who is the 5, American Red Sunrise. Might get a bit of a price here. That Dash for Cash Juvenile this horse made after a really good trial behind One More and I'm Gone V and I'm a Eagle. Was not a bad race. I mean, he was 7th, 2.5 lengths back all the way. I mean, he was overmatched. He was 50 to 1. He's not going to be that big a price tonight, but he might be a price. I think he's got a shot based on some of his earlier races. So I'm going to go with American Red Sunrise on top. On to the 5th. This one is super wide open. And I keep coming up with different adjectives for how wide open races are. 250 the distance, non-winners of 2 claimers.
Yeah, I went with the number 6, Little Denim. This horse has never tried a race this short, never gone 250 before. Last time out at Ruidoso was well beaten, but take a look at the start back in February. Was a winner at Sunland Park that came at 3:30. This horse has worked back in October, at the beginning of October. Worked 300 yards in that one, so it's cutting down from a workout. Yeah. So that workout might have been more work than this race is going to be for Little Denim right here. So I'm going to take number 6 on top. Second selection is going to be number 10 and Paint Me Patriot. If you look back to February at Louisiana Downs, this horse picked up a win at this distance. That was at the $10,000 level, so it was going down to $5,000 tonight. We'll see what happens with Paint Me a Patriot. I think that this horse, like I said, fired at 250 way back at Louisiana Downs in February. Since then, it's been at Delta. We've seen a lot of those horses at Delta come here and run well. Those 2 races at Delta Downs, wasn't beaten by much, was 5th in both of them, but only a half a length and then 3/4 respectively. I think that Paint Me a Patriot might have a shot here in the 5th. My third selection will be your number 12 horse. That is Stealth Flying. This horse has one race out on the Lone Star Park track this year that came at this 250-yard distance. Ran 3rd in that one. It was at the 10,000 non-twos, in for the $5,000 tag tonight. Just missed that one by half a length. I think the 12 Stealth Flying is definitely one to look at here in race number 5.
Yeah, a bunch of them to look at here. I went with the 7 Proven Ethics, kind of a chalky pick. It's sort of a tepid pick for me. I just felt like he had the most positives going his way. His form last year and his first start of this year at Remington were not very good, but his form really picked up over the spring and summer. Hasn't been out since July 24th. Has a best of the morning work out of 4 works. Not a big number of workers on September 30th, but it was at Remington. It was okay. So I'm going to give him a look here coming off a sort of a mini layoff. Paint Me Patriot, my second pick. I don't think he was, in my eyes, quite as far back in his last start as the PPs indicate. I think he was more about a length and a half or 2 lengths off, but still rallied well. Not a lot of time in 250 races to rally from behind, but he did. He's run some nice races. His trainer, Jose Carzales, does a great job. So I'm going to go 7, 10, 3. Mr. On the Dash is kind of my long shot look in here. Drops out of a non-winners of 2 for a little bit higher claiming tag at this meet. I thought ran a pretty good race. I thought it was a decent comeback race. And now he wheels back for a second start of the meet. Let's move to race number 6. Claimers, 3 and up, non-winners of 2, going 350. And let's show a video here real quick. Let's watch number 1, Secrets. Now, he's going to be the 7 in this race, so you see the shading toward the outside. He's going to get out of there in a rather rough fashion. He gets squeezed here at the start. It was just a rough trip. I mean, now, if you can still follow him, it's still a rough trip all the way to the finish. Meanwhile, Mr. Suave wins the race, and he's come back and run a subsequent nice race. And the horse that just was beaten by Mr. Suave in that race, who we weren't really focusing on, is King's Favor, and King's Favor is our top pick.
Yeah, we both got King's Favor on top here. A solid second last time out to Mr. Suave, like you were talking about. Trainer this one, Jimmy Padgett, always sends out some good horses. He's been winning some races as of late. Been in the winner's circle a couple times so far. I just think there's a lot to like about King's Favor. I mean, that last race where this horse ran second did come at this distance. If you look, Mr. Suave went on to win his next race. The horse that ran third in that one, Jess Alata, went on to win his next race. So, I mean, sandwiched in between 2 next out winners and a solid second place effort there. I think King's Favor is the one to beat here in the 6th race. I went with the number 2 as my second choice. This one's quite a bit of a long shot. You know, what can you say about this horse? He ran in 2016, ran in 2017, took a couple years off, made his 2020 debut on the opening weekend of our meet out here. Ran 9th in that race. Jockey lost the whip in that one, was 2 lengths behind.
He was favored in that race, though. Favored off that long layoff.
So, I mean, that's kind of strange there. I think I picked this horse in that one, too. You know, so this is he had one comeback race after 2 years off the track or 3 years off the track. Maybe that comeback race, you know, this horse is going to put it together and say, you know what, I miss running at the racetrack. I'm going to go ahead and run big tonight. So that is the 2 tempted. Probably going to get some decent odds on that one. And then I went with the number 3, Mr. Jinsperry, as my third choice. You know, kind of overlooked that last race out here, which was the first start at Lone Star Park. And, you know, the rest of the races going back have been pretty good. I mean, Louisiana Downs ran second by a neck earlier this year. Back in January, had a nice third, had a win before that coming in Louisiana. So I think Mr. Jinsperry at some decent odds might be one to take a look at to put in those exotic tickets here in race number 6.
Yeah, I agree. I have him 4th. I went with King's Favor as well. Nice work since his race here on September 12th. Did well against older rivals. His first try against older. He is just a 3-year-old. A lot to like about that performance last time out. The 9 Bedoui Dash is my second pick. First time with Alonzo Neri, and he's clicking at 32% rate when he saddles a horse for the first time. A horse is new to his barn. Bedoui Dash's last race at Retama was nothing special, but it was an allowance non-winners of 2 and drops considerably for this. And the 1 Louisiana Secrets, who had that rough trip start to finish last time out's my third pick, and really outran his odds, or her odds, by a long way. It was 40-1 that day, and was only beaten a length by Mr. Suave. Tonight's 7th begins the 6-shooter. Carry over $1,697 in race 7. Full field of 12 here, going 250 yards.
Yeah, I went with the horse on the outside, Joe Loop. This horse has run this 250-yard distance a couple times, has a third to show for it. You know, has had one start in 2020 that was after a layoff, so this is the second start back. I just talked about how I like that angle. The last time this horse ran out here at Lone Star Park, picked up a win by a length and 3/4 in a 300-yard race, so can win out here on our track. I got Jay Loop as my top choice. I went with number 9 and Dashing Rattler as pick number 2 here. A good second last time that came out here at Lone Star Park, opening weekend of our meet. That was at this distance, at this price. I think that the number 9 you could definitely take a look at. And then I went with the 4 as my third selection here, Runaway Stoli Dash. A second last time out, that came at 440 yards. They're going to cut back quite a bit. This horse has run 250 yards 3 different times and has 2/3 to show for it coming last year. So I think that Runaway Stoley Dash is definitely worth a look at the morning line odds, 8-1. I think there's some value in this race, no doubt about it.
I thought the card top to bottom tonight was pretty tough to get a handle on. I went with the 8 Hot Flash Cartel in here. Angel Sanchez is winning a ton of races. This horse is dropping out of a state-bred non-winners of 2 allowance. I think this horse has been overmatched of late. I think this is my big question with him. Is he quick enough to win at 250? His 1-250 race was way back in May of last year at Sam Houston, and he was bet that night but didn't really get into it. Question marks about him, but I took Hot Flash Cartel over Joe Loop. I just don't care for the 12 hole. I mean, later on I'm going to pick SS Classy Jess in the 12 hole, but that's a little different sort of situation. But, you know, Joe Loop, I mean, I think definitely the one to beat. I would definitely be on him if he had a little different post. And my third pick is the 4 Runaway Stoley Dash. Gets a much better distance this time than last time's 440, and I think she is right in her wheelhouse distance-wise. On to the 8th. We've got a couple of scratches here out of the 8th race. Take out the 5 Wild Card Patriot. Also scratch the 6 Taylor's Jess.
Yeah, I went with number 4, Corona Sin Fin. You were talking about Angel Sanchez, a trainer, just a second ago. He's a trainer, this one right here. Wins at a pretty decent clip out here this year. This horse has won back-to-back races, including one here at Lone Star Park this year. I think he's the one to beat here. That's Corona Sin Fin, the 4. Second choice is going to be the number 10 horse. That is Cupid Blue Together. You know, that last race was a starter race. You know, always draws up pretty difficult. Those races do out here. Before that, you know, this horse had a win in a second, both coming at Retama Park here in 2020. This horse has fired 6 times out this calendar year. Has a win, a second, and a third. I think Cupid Blue Together is 330 yards, which the horse has won at before. Might be right up this horse's wheelhouse, and we might see him in the finish, across the finish line first or second. But I think this horse finishes in the money. Then I went with the number 2 in Creme De La Cartel. You know, last race out, this horse ran 4th at Albuquerque, picked up a win in Albuquerque before that. Has been out in New Mexico quite a bit. This horse has the experience in the field, has run 27 different times, does have 6 wins to show for it. Has never been out here at Lone Star Park, but has ran this 330 a couple times, including picking up a win in it. That's number 2, Creme De La Cartel.
Yeah, you know, I went with him on top. I was originally a little skeptical about the Albuquerque form there, but then I looked up some of the horses he was facing. His last start, Famous Julia, the winner of that race, is a $79,000 or $76,000 career earner with 6 career wins and 24 starts. The runner-up, Zuminair, is a 7-time winner from just 16 career starts, $79,000 in career earnings. Now, I didn't see the late interest out of the race. I thought it was a pretty even effort by Creme de la Cartel, but that was a really tough race. The race before, horse dead heated for a win in an absolute blanket finish. He's going to be I'm going to give him the nod. Corona Sin Fin, though, my second pick. Really nice winner last time. Has won 2 in a row. Really a lot to like about her, and she was really fast last time. So I'm going 2, 4, 10 in that one. Let's move on to the 9th. Maiden Claimers, 3 and up. Big question here is who wants to go 440 yards, I think.
I went with number 8. This one probably going to get a price on 12-1 morning line for this horse. Has never run this 440-yard distance, but it's kind of been working up to it. Back in August, the beginning of August, did have a decent second at Ruidoso Downs at the 400-yard distance. This horse has had some trouble in every race that you know, she's been in, but you know, hopefully this is the one where she crosses that finish line first, and with some decent odds to you know, make some people happy and, you know, pick 4, the late pick 4 tonight. So I think big wine glass might have a shot in this one, and I'm going to put some money on the nose of this filly for sure. Second choice is going to be the number 2, an American Favorite. Last time out ran 3rd by a length. You got to respect the connections on this one. Blaine Wood, Ricky Ramirez. You know, this horse has tried the 440-yard distance one time. Didn't have too much to show for it. Ran 8th in that one, was well beaten. And then for my third choice, I went with the number 4 horse in Chauveau. This horse has a start out here at Lone Star Park. That came last year, ran 2nd in that race. Has run 3 times in 2020, hasn't hit the board. Those are in maiden races, going into the maiden claiming ranks for this one. We'll see if maybe a little bit lesser competition and maybe Chauveau will get up and hit the board.
Yeah, he's one of, there's been a bunch of them here this meet already, half to the world champion Bodacious Eagle. Chauveau was a $50,000 Heritage Place yearling purchase. He clearly didn't work out in the trial ranks, and quite frankly, he hasn't worked out in the maiden special weight ranks either. But he's dropping into a maiden claimer for the very first time today. I like that angle. I'm taking him on top. Juan Vasquez, the trainer, used to be the late John Buchanan's assistant, and he's a former jockey as well. I think he's going to do well. And our friend Dave Appleton, who I love to watch during the thoroughbred meet, always says the best hop is a drop. And I think Chauveau is dropping considerably within the maiden ranks here. We'll see if he responds. I mean, so far his really Boffo races have been a little limited. But I'm going to go with him over American Favorite, who I think is at a realistic level for him. And my third pick is the 7 She's Ethics. Went pretty evenly at Fair Meadows last time, but did have a really nice work at Remington on October 3rd. I think I'm ready for this. Let's move on to the 10th. Time's getting just a tad short, so we want to make sure we allow time to talk about each of the remaining races. 10th race, $10,000 claimer at 400 yards.
I went with the number 10 horse, Magical Mushroom. This horse last time out a few weeks ago was in a $10,000 claiming race just like this one, ran 2nd in that race. That was at this 400-yard distance. This horse had some experience at this distance, has a win at the 400 yards, a 2nd and a 3rd as well. Big odds on this one, I think. I think this is going to be a fun one to watch run down the track. My second choice is going to be the number 6 horse. That is JF Cash Fantasy. This horse was a winner last time out that came back in June at this 400-yard distance at Delta Downs. This horse has had a pretty good 2020, started 3 times, has picked up 2 wins, one out of Louisiana Downs in January, and then like the one back in June at Delta, like I mentioned. And then I went with the number 12 horse as my third selection, Ranger the Stranger. This horse has been out in New Mexico, has run 26 times, has 7 wins in his career, has won $115,000. So this horse definitely has run in some races that have paid pretty decent for him. At the distance, it started 6 times at this 400 yards, has a win, a 2nd, and a 3rd. Don't like the 12 hole that much, but someone's got to run out of it, and maybe Ranger the Stranger gets up and hits the board here.
I think if he comes back ready to go, I think he's the winner probably. I mean, but I just, he's coming off the bench in a long time on the bench at that. Tough post, pretty well matched field. We're taking long shots. You took a 12-1 morning line, so did I. I'm going with the 7 Baja Jesse. Going to take a chance on a Prairie Meadows horse here. Charlton Hunt, his father Charlie Hunt, won a ton of races over the years. This horse had a nice work here a week or so ago over the Lone Star Strip. Summer for this horse at Prairie was okay. A close 2nd in a condition claimer. Just thinking maybe the change of scenery will help. Maybe the stretch out to a little longer distance will help. Going to fish for a shot. The 11 Rosinante, who gets to a much more reasonable class level here, is going to be my second pick. I ran some nice races earlier this year when in the claiming ranks, and then Ranger the Stranger, my third pick. This one could go a lot of different ways, though. Let's move on to the feature. A new stakes race, a $100,000 stakes race to boot. Texas-bred fillies, 3 and up. In the Yellow Rose of Texas Stakes, 400 yards the distance.
Yeah, nice stakes race on a Saturday night out here at Lone Star Park. My top choice is going to be, SS Classy Jess coming out of the 12 hole. This horse was a winner of the Neville Stakes, a few weeks ago out here on our track. Has put together 3 races in a row, all 3 stakes races, all 3 wins in those stakes races. 4 races back, ran another stakes at Retama Park, ran 3rd in that one just by neck. So it could have been 4 for 4 stakes races for SS Classy Jess. I think if this horse can get out the gate, she shows that she can get out the gate pretty well. If she can do it again tonight, Hopefully they're all looking at her from behind and chasing her down the track. But I really like SS Classy Jess, but this is a tough field right here. Second pick is going to be your number 11 horse, and Kiss My Lassie. These horses are coming, right out together. Kiss My Lassie, had a decent race out here just at the end of September, won the race out here on our track. It's a perfect 2-for-2 out here at Lone Star Park, as a matter of fact. Was fast enough to get into All-American Oaks out at Rio Dulce this year. Ran in that one, didn't win it, ran 8th in that one, but hey, was still in it. So it was one of the best 8 horses or 9 horses in that race for sure, no doubt about it. But Kiss My Lassie, I think this is a solid one to watch right here. And then I went with LJ Moonrise, the number 2, as my third pick. This is a horse that's running a few stakes races, has run decent in them. Back at Albuquerque, won the stakes race here in the Distaff Futurity Challenge or Distaff Challenge out here last year. Went on to Albuquerque, ran 3rd in the Challenge Championship for the Distaff. This horse has a pretty good record at this distance, has 7 starts, 2 wins, a 2nd and a 3rd. I think you're going to get a price on LJ Moonrise, and this is a fun horse to watch.
Yeah, no, I agree. She's outstanding. In pretty tough here, but you could argue maybe she's drawn a little bit better than some of those outside fillies who might be a touch better, but also I think the X factor in this whole race might be I'm a Tempting Girl to 6. I only used her as high as 4th. If those races at Gillespie, which I say every week we can't watch because they're not on video archives, if those are legit, she is a super contender in this race, stepping up in class. I'm not sure that they are. We'll see. You have to respect the connections, but I got the outside 3 as my top 3. SS Classy Jess, I just can't go against her. I mean, she's a win machine, loves the track, comfortable with the distance. My second pick's the 10 Apolitical Mogul. We've never seen her here before, even though she is a Texas bred. She's mainly been an upper Midwest horse for Jason Olmstead. Broke on top last time, in my opinion, against a male field in a graded race, the Keokuk at Prairie Meadows. Battled hard all the way. I don't know. Let me not finish that sentence. She ran very well and broke well, regardless of what it might say in the PPs. That was a Buffo race. So she's going to be tough, I think, if she can transfer her form down here. Kiss My Lassie set a track record at 3:30 last time. Now, the wind was blowing a gale from behind her right after the Dash for Cash Futurity, but be that as it may, she is a real danger in this one as well. On to the 12th. 12th and final, maiden special weights, 250 the distance.
All right, I've got the number 8, Gianni Provakis. I guess that's right. This horse came out and ran 250 yards the last 2 times. Ran second by a neck last time, missed by 3/4 the time before that. A horse that won that one went on to win its next race. Gianni Provakis, I think, is the one to watch here in the 12th. Second choice is going to be your number 11 and One Tough Eagle. This is a horse that ran a solid second at the Gillespie County Fairgrounds last time. That was at this 250-yard distance. There was another next out winner in the top 3 right there. Good break for One Tough Eagle. I think if he can break like that here, maybe this is going to be a winning horse for Cody McDaniel. And then my third selection will be your number 12 horse, Cartel's Cluster. You got to respect the barn, Toby Keaton's barn. Out of all the horses he sent out, I think he finishes in the money about 60% of the time, still going into this week. So if you see one of his horses, I'm going to take it in the top 3 and play the percentages here.
I've got her as my 4th pick. I certainly respect her. I took One Tough Eagle. A lot to like despite the post. Gets away very well. Shows a lot of speed. I'm going to go with One Tough Eagle in the nightcap for Cody McDaniel. My second pick is your number 8, Giovanni Provakis. Very quick sort. And, that's going to suit this horse well in this 250 race. And then my third pick is the 9, I Wanna Kiss. Hasn't been out since late August at Retama, but I think this horse has enough speed to factor as well. So I've got fillies in my second, third, and fourth spots here behind One Tough Eagle. All right. Well, we've just about run out of time. Good luck tonight. We'll see you in the paddock.
All right. It's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to both those stakes races, the Arabians and the quarter horses. 12 races. Nice carryover for the Super High Five. It's going to be a fun Saturday night at the track, right?
No doubt about it. thanks for joining us, and good luck tonight.